Hey guys, so I'm back with another video. Happy New Year. So I've been wanting to do this video for the last 2 weeks, and the reason being is that I recently was getting a lot of views on my YouTube channel from a really old video, my 2008 MAC holiday makeup look. And I was like, this is strange. Why am I getting all these views on this like 16, 17-year-old video? So I looked at some of the comments, and apparently there's a trend on TikTok where people are recreating their makeup from the year they were born. So apparently a lot of 16-year-olds are looking for 2008 makeup and they found my video, which is hilarious. So I looked at the video and I was like, okay, this video is not bad. I was so fresh-faced and young. That was my second year doing YouTube videos. I started in 2007, so it was 2008. So I'm not mad at the makeup, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of watch the video and redo it. So some of the products, well, most of the products I'm not using because it was like all MAC makeup. That's what I was obsessed with when I started my YouTube channel, and we've changed a lot since then. So I'm going to try to recreate the look using what I have, but I do have the original MAC holiday palette because I kept all of my MAC limited edition pretty palettes, even though I don't use them anymore. I tried to sanitize it. We'll see how it goes. So we're going to watch the video, and I'm going to try to recreate it. So wish me luck. So this was back when I was single, no kids. And I did this whole look using the eyeshadow palette. Okay, let's go ahead and start the video. I'm watching it on my phone. I had this really funky intro. I always put on music, and funnily enough, it was Single Ladies by Beyonce, which I can't believe that song is so old, which now I can't do because of copyright, but I used to use all this fun music. So look at me with my blonde hair. Actually, I'm going to do my side part zigzag, which is what I had back in the day. I used to always rock a side part, but then all the Gen Zers made fun of us. So I started rocking the middle part. So I'm going to remove what I have on my face, and let's pause the video. Okay, so let me take off my 2025 makeup, which I just put on so you can kind of get a comparison. So we are in the skin era. Eyeshadow is so much more simple nowadays. Back in the day, it was all about eyes. And we are doing a smoky eye. And in the video, I used to do a shortcut where I would do only one half of my, I would already do it one eye, and I only do that one half eye left to make it shorter because the tutorial is only 6 minutes long. That was before I had fancy cameras, fancy editing programs. I'm pretty sure I was filming on a webcam, which is crazy. The quality is not actually bad. I think I was filming on a webcam on my laptop in my apartment back in the day. Okay, side part, no makeup on. I'm going to start off, it says apply bare canvas paint to the lid as a base. So I don't have that. I used to use MAC paints and paint pats all the time. Now I just use concealer. So I'm using this Natasha Denona concealer. And this works perfectly fine as an eyeshadow base because my lids are pretty flat, so I don't have issues with creasing. So this is going to create that lighter base. Okay, continuing on with the video. It's on super speed. Just use my finger. Oh, I should have just used my finger. Oh well, same thing. Apply skin eyeshadow all over the lid as base shadow. It makes blending easier. Okay, so scant eyeshadow is probably the nude shadow in here. Assuming it's this one. So I am going to use just like a fluffy brush to do that. So you're going to get this nude shade as like our all over lid blender shade. It's a little bit light for me, and you'll notice that this look is super duper cool tone, which is funny because cool tone has made a comeback. And the shades in this palette are actually very nice even to this day as I look at them. They've got like this more nude kind of taupey, chocolate brown nude, and then like silver. And like I said, I was really into warms for a long time, but nude eyeshadow has made a comeback for sure. Okay, so we put this on as our base color. Apply gorgeous eyeshadow to the middle of the brow bone and tear duct. And I use this huge brush to do that. So which one is gorgeous? Okay, it's this one. Why did I do that? You don't know. So I'm going to use that silver as my crease transition shade, which doesn't make any sense because you shouldn't use shimmer on your crease area because it's an area that needs a matte shadow. But we're gonna do it, y'all. This is back in the shimmery era. Anyways, a lot of shimmer. So I'm gonna place that above my crease, slightly higher, so that way I can use up all that lid space that, back in the day I used to think I had really small eyes, which I do, but I have a lot of space. So nowadays I bring my eyeshadow a little higher. Okay, so we're blending that out. And then it's looking real frosty. It looks like I'm putting some on the inside of the eye too. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna put some on the inner third of my eye. Ooh, this is still really bright, y'all. This is back when eyeshadows from MAC were everything. And then we all know what happened. Once it got bought by Estee Lauder, the quality suffered. And I know this for a fact because I tried to repurchase the same shades of eyeshadows and they were just not the same, and I just kind of like moved on to other brands. Okay. Next, we are going to apply Ambiance eyeshadow to the lid up to the crease. Okay, let me shift to a flat brush for this. A lot of shimmer. So this is Ambiance, which is that middle gray tone right here. I'm going to use a flat brush. And a lot of brushes I'm using are from back in the day. They've lasted a really long time. So that shows the quality of brushes and taking care of them, cleaning them regularly. So this is the middle toned gray. So I'm kind of just doing a smoky eye with like a lot of silver and gray tones. Well, I have a mirror right here. I can use the mirror on the MAC palette. Nice. Okay. So this is definitely like a blue-based gray. It's got shimmer, but honestly on my eye it's not showing super shimmery. So I'm just like kind of packing it up, kind of letting it ease into that silver. All right, what's next? Pat, pat, pat. And I actually probably could blend it out to the edges. Applying light layers and build color up because this color tends to be patchy. It is a little bit patchy. It's not as pigmented as that first silver shade. So I'm gonna apply it on all the way to the ends. Okay, I work a long time on the video on this shadow. But it's probably that weird brush that I was using. Okay. Use 217 brush to apply carbon eyeshadow to the outer V and crease. I still do that to this day, but it's funny because I hardly use black eyeshadow nowadays. I use like browns. So I have a 217 dupe right here from an old one, which is broken, but I still use it. Does anybody recognize this brand? Yep, it's a Sigma brush that came with one of the old Sigma palettes. So I'm gonna take Carbon, and Carbon was one of my favorite shades, but then it got weird, it got not pigmented. So I moved on to another black. But I'm gonna use this to do my outer V. And here's the difference with my skill level. When you apply black shadows now, you apply them lightly and blend them and build versus trying to apply a lot at one time. And this is not blending as easily because it's old. But also we have the weird shimmer in the crease, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know why I did that. This is my early newbie makeup days, y'all. So now I'm blending it into the crease. I think I watched this video already and I spent a long time doing this. But as you can see, it happens fast. Focusing most of the color on the outer V and then lightly dusting it into my crease. And let me build up this color some more, y'all. This is definitely giving Jersey Shore, so let's smoke this out. I barely do like black smoky eyes anymore, unless a client specifically asks for it. It's just not quite as popular as they used to be, but back in the day, people loved them a smoky eye, y'all. It was all about the eyes. So here I am trying to build up this black. Yep, this is definitely giving Jersey Shore. But applying it with a blender brush definitely helps because it's giving me a really smooth application. And I'm putting most of the color on the outer V. So, would you wear this look? Look at this. Okay. So, blend, blend, blend. It's looking even darker on camera. I think I have eyeshadow, too much eyeshadow restraint now. Clean up the edge with a Q-tip. I can do that. I can do that because it's a lot. Nowadays, I wouldn't use a Q-tip. I would just use a makeup remover wipe for a sharper edge. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take the makeup remover wipe that I used to remove my makeup. Look at my side part, it doesn't know what to do with itself. Then I'm gonna take a Q-tip and I'm gonna soften it out so it's not such a harsh edge. This was like super sharp, I think. Or maybe, I don't know, it's all a blur. Okay, Q-tip, check. Does this look symmetrical? Let me make this side a little bit darker. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and blend that out. I'm gonna use a little bit more of that lighter gray that's in the middle to kind of blend out the edge. And I'm gonna pause it because what I did next is I reapplied ambient eyeshadow to the lid. Where's my ambient? Oh, here's my flat brush again. I'm reapplying that gray here. And the reason why I think I reapplied it is because I blended so much of it out. But honestly, this color is not really giving. I wonder if I wet it. I'm curious if I wet this, would it show up more? This is definitely giving kind of muddy eyes, but there's not much I could do about that. Okay, reapplied it to my lid. Line top lash line, I use Renelyn Color Stay Liquid Liner, which I love that liner still. I actually rebought it recently for my kit, and I just use a disposable brush with it when my Inglot gel liner kept on creasing. I don't have one here, but I have the Urban Decay Perversion, and I'm gonna line my eyes with this. This has not changed. I still do liquid liner, wing. That has not changed, y'all. But I don't use black as much, nearly as much. I use brown. Because I think brown's a little softer. Okay, so we have our black liquid liner on. Next, I use Line Waterline with Feline Coal. And I actually found one. I have one in my kit, and it's still very black and nice. And I used to always align my waterline with black. That is something I used to do even for daytime looks, which is crazy because I never do that anymore. So I'm going to hit the waterline with this. Look how black that is, y'all. I don't know how old this pencil is, y'all, but it is still giving everything. Okay. I barely, look how dark that is, funny. Okay, so I do this sometimes, but rarely. All right, Auto de Blue Pearl Glide with pencil to the lower lash line for a pop color. I have no idea why I did this. Did this come with a holiday set? It doesn't really make sense to do the blue for the holidays, but I used to love putting blue on my lower lash line. I have this Milani Liquify blue eyeliner. The Pearl Glides, I bought that whole collection, limited collection back in the day, and I love those things. But those are all dried out and long gone, so let me hit the lower lash line with this blue. I don't know if it's looking as vibrant as I thought it would, but the one from the video wasn't that vibrant either. It was more of a navy. So this is something that I would blend out a lot. Now, like, I don't like a harsh lower lash line. Let me see what I did on the video. Yep, I'm really slapping that liner on. Blend out with a pencil brush. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, it looks like I didn't use anything, just the brush. So normally, I would use a coordinating eyeshadow to make it pop and set it, but we didn't do that. So we're just gonna take a pencil brush and smudge it. Clean pencil brush. And I still do this to this day. I use a pencil brush on my lower lash line. Old habits die hard, right? Is that the right saying? Okay. Halfway through this tutorial, almost done with the eyes actually, it looks like. I didn't do my eyes, my brows off camera. Touch-up shadow is needed. Back in the day I had blonde hair, so I had more of a caramel brow. Like I used to use soft brown from Anastasia a lot, but now my hair is dark, so we're gonna modernize the brow pencil. I'm using the Kosas Brow Pop, but I'm gonna keep them thin because my brows were definitely thinner back then. So let's go ahead. Luckily my brows are small-ish from my microblading, fading, so it's actually easy to fill them in small. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this brow on. I have to fight the tendency to want to make it thicker because I usually make my brows thicker nowadays. And I usually make them like fluffy, like do the hair like strokes. But I didn't do that back then. It was literally just filling them in. So there it is. There's one. This pencil is really nice for this because it's nice and thin. It's thin because it's supposed to give you hair-like strokes, but here I'm using it just to give me a thin eyebrow shape. It's funny when I watch the TikToks of the girls recreating the makeup from back in the day, the 90s and 2000s, they're trying to squeeze their brows together with like a brow wax or freeze or gel to make them thinner, which is hilarious. If you're back from my era, we don't got brows like that. We have to make them look fuller. So a little bit crooked. So I'm gonna take my trusty Q-tip and make this side a little bit smaller. This is what I used to do. I wouldn't take concealer to clean up my brows. I would just take a Q-tip and go like that. All right, skinny brows. Ooh, those brows are dark. I'm looking in my big mirror. Let's go ahead and just brush them a little bit just to soften them. Because I wasn't trying to like leave the fluffiness. I was just trying to fill them in, but they are looking a little bit too dark for my preference. Okay, still dark, but wow, the brows just transported me back to 2008. Okay, so blending the eyeshadow, I don't need to do that. I feel like my eyeshadow is blended. Curl lashes, I'm gonna skip that because I don't be doing that anymore. That just honestly was for the YouTube because my lashes are so short. I was like, you should curl your lashes, but I applied false lashes. I used MAC number 8. I would never use MAC lashes now because they're way overpriced. So I'm gonna grab a similar lash that I found. These are like cheap ones I think I bought on Amazon, which kind of look like the MAC number 8 in my opinion. The MAC number 8 was so popular because it was like short and long. All right, so let's try to pop these bad boys on. Gotta definitely trim them. Nowadays I like a wispier lash. We'll see how these look. And I used to use only Duo lash glue back in the day because that's what was around. But now I'm using the clear callus lash glue that I buy on Amazon for $5, which is my fave. So let's go ahead and prep this lash. This lash is a little big, to be honest. We'll see how it looks. It's funny because when I started out my YouTube career, I used to always wear lashes. And I feel like not as many people are doing lashes with every look. They would do mascara. They would curl their lashes and put like 2 different mascaras. And I was like, always kind of felt a little weird about doing that because I knew my lashes were not giving. To this day, I don't even wear mascara because they're so short. And I've tried lash serums, it's just not worth it to me. I just don't bother. Either I have no lashes, no mascara, or I wear lashes when I'm really trying. So I used to fake it just because everybody else did it, and I used to curl my lashes, apply mascara, and then put lashes on. And I think people commented that I always wear lashes, and I was like, sorry, it's just my thing. And now everybody wears lashes every day. So I think I was a little ahead of my time, y'all. And I should have been pretty much like unapologetic about it. Like, I'm gonna wear lashes. So if you don't like it, you don't have to like it, but I did. All right, the lash is on. Really opened up my eyes, right? And the gap on my waterline with the kohl pencil. So that way it looks like it kind of is on there better. I don't know if I did that in this video, I don't think so. But these lashes are kind of awkward, so I'm gonna fill in the waterline. Oh Lord, this one lash is crazy. Let me fix the liner on this side. Okay, it's good enough. Next we are going to move on to skin, and the skin part is so fast. Oh, I did tie a line. See, I already knew. The skin is so fast, which is so funny because now it's all about skin and the eyes are simple. Apply Select Moisture Concealer. I use NW35. So I use concealer first. I need to go darker with my concealer because I have really bright concealer with me, so I'm going to use the concealer from my kit. So NW35 is lighter than my skin tone, but not as bright as my Natasha Denona concealer. So I'm going to put this on first because that's what I did in the tutorial. Usually nowadays I put my concealer on. After foundation, but this is what we're doing. Concealer. Okay, I don't think I applied a lot. And I just used my fingers to blend it in. Yeah, this was like pre-extreme highlight. I think that's too much concealer, but I'm gonna use my ring finger to blend it in. This is too much. I'm gonna whip off the excess. And normally now what I would do too is I would do my lower lash line after concealer because it's gonna kind of mess up what the work we did. All right, so this is what we used to do. It feels funny now. Okay, all right, under eyes are concealed. My little ring finger. I still tell clients these days to use their ring finger to blend because it's the gentle finger, it has warmth. Okay, blending out that concealer. Apply primer. Do this before the concealer. I just forgot, and I use Pure Minerals Peach Primer. So Pure Minerals, they used to send me a lot of product back in the day. So the Peach Primer is probably, it's for color correcting, but honestly, I think I just did it just to do it. I don't think it made any difference because my skin looks pretty even there. So instead I'm gonna use Jelly Pop Primer because this is what I have here. I don't have a peach primer, and I used a brush, so I'm gonna use my brush. But back in the day, I would use, but nowadays I just use my fingers, personally. All right, so I'm doing the primer. That was again another step I think I just did just because everybody else did. And nowadays I've like grown up and I'm like, just do the steps that make sense for you. Don't follow the tutorial step by step if it doesn't make sense. So learning things that you learn over the years. Then I apply MAC Studio Finish, a MAC Mineralized Satin Finish NC42, which was my shade from MAC. I think a lot of girls were NC42. I don't have that anymore. And as you can see, I use satin finish because even back then I had dry skin and I didn't like the original MAC Studio Fix. So this is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation in the shade Medium Cool. So I'm gonna use this instead with a brush. What kind of brush was I using? I was just using a traditional paddle brush. I don't do that anymore from foundation really for myself. Sometimes I do on clients, but I think the rounded brushes nowadays are better. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna apply it with this brush. The key is if you're using this for foundation, you need to use like short strokes because otherwise you'll leave little streaks. See, and you kind of have to pad out those streaks. God, I've been breaking out more than normal because I think I've been stressed. So I'm gonna cover up some of these little pimples. See, this brush is much harder to use for foundation. Back then, my skin was so young and even, and my skin is actually pretty good still, but you know, when you're young, like you don't have to do as much. So I think I was just like kind of doing it to even out my skin tone. This is an old Sedona lace brush. It is cracked up, but I still use it. I usually use this more for applying skincare and primers to my clients, so these kind of foundation paddle brushes. All right, so put that on. Satin finish here, satin finish in 2008, that hasn't changed. Blend down my neck. Good job, Ren. All right, then I use, this is funny, I use the MAC Skin Finish Natural in the shade Medium Dark, which I used for years, and then I just ended up starting to get the Sephora Micro Smooth powders because they're way cheaper and they're the same. And I use a kabuki brush to apply that, which I used to use that all the time. Kind of like, I guess, remnants from the Bare Mineral days where we used to use the kabuki brushes. And I'm just gonna pat this into my skin instead of buffing it because I have like some acne marks. I don't want to disturb the coverage. So I would never do this now. Like I wouldn't set my whole face with this powder like this. If anything, I would use a translucent loose powder. But look, I even put it under my eyes, y'all. There is no brightening powder. So we're gonna just do that. One tone faced. Okay. And then I'm gonna use this set foundation with powder. I used MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Dark. And then I went in with the glowy MSF, and I think I used Gold Deposit as bronzer / contour. So I don't have that anymore. I'm just gonna use, again, one of these mineralized ones. So I was dabbling in contour, but I was using really shimmery MSFs to do it. So it's more like a bronzer contour, but at least I'm giving some definition out to my skin. So I'm just using a darker powder. And I do this a lot with clients. I use these powders to kind of give dimension to the skin and warmth. Okay. And then, what's next? MAC MSF again. I remember this was part of like the blonde, brunette, redhead collection. And again, I used to buy all of the collections back in the day. So I don't have that anymore. I did a huge MAC purge like last year because I held on to so many things. So I do have a mineralized blush from Milani. This one's more pigmented than that one though. So I'm gonna use this as blush. And where did I put my blush? At a diagonal, yep. Okay, so I'm gonna use this and apply it up at a diagonal. Make the little face. Okay, so pause that, apply blush. So there was not a liquid blush, liquid bronzer thing back in the day. It was all powders because the focus was eyes. There was probably some powder blushes and stuff back then, but they just weren't popular. All right, so I got the blush on. It's not looking bad, it just looks flat. Okay, and then I went in with my lip pencil. So I used MAC Hodgepodge. I don't have that anymore. I'm gonna use a brown lip pencil though. I'm going to use, let's see, what did I pack in my little kit here? Oh, I have this one from Urban Decay called Conspiracy, which is a similar brown. So I'm gonna line my lip shape. I'm not gonna overdraw it, just line it like normal. Still use brown lip liners. I used brown lip liners back then and I still do it, so that kind of came back. Okay. My young self. Line lips with Hodgepodge lip pencil. That one looked like a little bit cooler than the one I have on. It's okay. And then I use MAC Viva Glam 5 Lip Glass. I used to love that shade because it was that mauvey, pinky brown with sparkles. I don't have that anymore, but I need to see if they still sell that. This is the Makeup by Mario Rose Glow, like the lip, you know, the clicky lip balm thing. And I think this is a similar-ish mauve shade, and it's got a little glow to it, like a lip gloss. So I'm just gonna pat this on. Okay, it almost looks like a lip gloss. And I applied that with, I applied it with a lip brush. Okay, lip brush, let's get a lip brush out. And I think I was blending it into the lip pencil. Because we didn't want any harsh lines back then. That was post-90s harsh lip line era. See, I said best shade ever. Then the MAC Dazzle Glass right in the center. So the Dazzle Glass, I bought all of those. I had a million of those as well. I think it's kind of weird how I'm using a lip glass and then a lip gloss on top of that. But, you know, usually I would do lipstick, then lip gloss in the center. I don't have that, so I'm going to use a Creme Brulee Glimmer from Ole Henriksen because it's got a lot of shimmer. This is new. I just got this from Sephora. Just in the center. And let me just blend this out a little bit more right here. I think it looks close. Apply a little Baby Shark's Dazzle Glass in the middle of the lips. And that's a final look. Fluff out the hair. This is the final look. So I used to always do these poses. Okay, looking down, close up. And my A-Town Down, ATL sign. That was my signature. So, wow, throwback. So what do you guys think of this makeup? Look at the side part popping. It's not bad. It's not bad, it's just dated. Like if I saw someone wear this makeup, I'd be like, okay, it's just like kind of old school, which it was. Should I wear this out? I don't know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this fun recreating my 2008 makeup. Let me know if you guys would wear this to this day. Do you guys remember this video if you're an old head on the channel? Or if you're 16, 17 and watching this in 2024, 25, actually no, in 2025, let me know if you're gonna recreate this look and send it to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, ciao fellas.